name is Naz and welcome to my very first YouTube video. I want to talk to you a little bit about this channel and what it was meant to do. So Naz Speaks was founded by obviously myself to talk to you guys of all ages about your mental health and how you can manage it and use it to your advantage. I'll be helping you guys become healthy and happy despite these troubles that you go through on a daily freaking basis. Believe me, I've been there and I understand, and this is something that was so long overdue that I wanted to start doing to help you guys. So for today's video, I want to discuss the importance of being self-aware, which is very hard because it takes a lot of courage to just step back and look at yourself instead of other people and how they wronged you and how they're horrible and this, that, when really you need to be looking at yourself. I know a lot of you guys have heard about this self-awareness, looking at yourself and all these things, but do you truly understand what that means? In today's video, we're going to discuss what exactly that looks like. And it's going to be so uncomfortable, but I promise you at the end of this video, you're just going to feel so relieved and you're going to find a fresh perspective on exactly how to do this. You can start your self-awareness journey by the end of this video. Most people aren't self-aware, even when they think they are. They are not. And I know we know these people. We know these people. They think that, oh, I'm healed. I have nothing to work on. I did all my self-healing work and I am just, at a great place right now, which is great for them. However, when you ask the more troubling questions, they get fidgety, they get uncomfortable. They're not comfortable with talking about the inner work that they had to do. Or if they do talk about it, it's not really as a learning aspect. It's more of like an ego aspect, if you know what I mean. The real way to be self-aware is by looking at how you come across to other people. And I'm not saying this as a people pleaser way. I'm saying this as in put yourself in their shoes. I want you to imagine that you're in a horrible relationship, and we've all been there. We've been in bad relationships before. And you cannot sit there and tell me that you haven't, And I want you to imagine that you're back in that relationship and you're with your ex-boyfriend, you're with your ex-girlfriend, whatever. And I want you to put yourself in their shoes. I know that they're troubled individuals and I know that they did you wrong on so many aspects, but I want you to put yourself in their headspace with whatever they were going through and take a look at your impact in their life and how you may or may not have contributed to the downfall in that relationship. I want you to imagine that you were your partner, that while you're in their shoes, they have a partner, aka you, that's asking them to be there for you, that's asking them to, be loving towards you, whatever, which is so valid, which is really valid. Any relationship should be loving and supportive and all these beautiful things. I want you to take a look at yourself in that relationship and ask yourself, were you that person that was worthy of it? And you may say, 100%, yeah, I'm amazing and I give them love and respect in return and I didn't do anything wrong. It's just that they cheated and which is unfortunate, 100% unfortunate. But I want to get across, what exactly is it or was it about you that made them feel that they could? Made them feel that disrespecting you was an option? What was it that you radiated that they were so okay with talking to you the way that they did, with by not being there for you, by not giving you the bare minimum? What was it about you that radiated that energy that you don't even need the bare minimum? I want you to think back at every time you were angry with them. How did you approach it? Did you approach it in a way that they would understand? Did you approach it in a way where you were so defendant of yourself? How did you come across? Were you someone that was open for communication the same way you wanted them to be open for communication? Let's think about that. Think of the way that they viewed you. Think of the way that sometimes other people view you. Are you someone that they can come to when they have an issue? Are you someone that is trustworthy, or are you someone that gossips all the time? Are you someone that is kind and friendly and supportive and humble, or are you someone that has their ego so high up that you can't even find your IQ level anymore? Are you someone that's always negative and expecting positive to come into your life? Like, what energy do you radiate? Now I want you to imagine what you want in a relationship. I want you to imagine all the beautiful things that you say that you want. You want a relationship that's healthy, that, there's trust and there's understanding and there's supportiveness and there's communication and there's just full transparency. But then I will also want you to ask yourself, are you someone that allows that to be in your life? Are you someone that can handle that level of maturity in your life? Are you someone that is at that maturity level to attract it? You say you want a relationship where your partner is a figure to your kids. You say you want a relationship where your partner can come to you and find hospice in you. That they should come home and your home should feel like home because you're in it. But do you feel like home? Do you have that energy from you for them to feel that way? Or are you still having mental breakdowns right before your periods, and are you still screaming and shouting? Are you so unhealed that you expect your partner to carry the burden for both you and them, and thinking that that's love? Because that's not love. Love is being there and being there for your partner, but it's not fixing your partner. It's being there and supporting them through their journey, but it's not being there to fix it and to band-aid over it, okay? If you struggle with mental health, your partner being there for you is by, asking you how therapy went. Not telling you to go to therapy. Not forcing you to go to therapy. Not trying to convince you that you need therapy. That's not what a partner's supposed to do. If you want a loving relationship and you think your partner's supposed to be there to constantly handle your emotions, for example, when you're around your period and you're having these absolute hormonal breakdowns that come out of nowhere, and then by the time you have your period and you're all calmed down, you go and you apologize. Is that something healthy? It's not, because even if you start off with a loving relationship, eventually your partner is going to resent you, and they're not going to look at you the same way. They may still love you, sure, but they're not going to confide in you with anything. They're going to confide in someone else, because clearly you don't have the emotional maturity to handle your own emotions. If you're always bawling and flailing and picking fights when you're hormonal, they're not going to feel like you're a safe space for them. Even if they don't show it, it's like they're walking on eggshells. And that's not healthy for any relationship, especially for someone who says they want a healthy relationship. If you want someone there supporting you, that is a different thing. If you know that you have these issues that you have to deal with, things that make you go out of control, if you have triggers, if you're not doing anything about those things, then your relationship is at it's going to have a lot of conflicts in it. You'll just be going around in circles like, oh, you're not there for me whenever I have my period. Oh, you're not there for me, when I have a stressful day at work. Like, what are you doing in order to fix that stress at work? What are you doing in order to fix your hormonal imbalances so you guys can come together and have something healthy? Because if you're just going to suffer here and they're going to suffer here and no one's going to heal from these stresses, you're going to come back, you're going to spew it onto each other, and it's just going to be disastrous, and your relationship is going to feel like a burden. You're going to have relationship anxiety because you don't know where you stand. You're going to come back feeling like, oh my God, how was his day at work? Is he going to, flip on me? Or, man, she's on her period. Should I even come home so early? You don't want that in your relationship. Trust me, you don't. You don't. If you have mental health disorders, like if you have anxiety, if you have depression, and you always rely on your partner to be there every time you have a breakdown, every time you have an attack, it's not going to be a fulfilling relationship to them. It's not going to, because the relationship is supposed to be two people coming together, sharing happiness, sharing their lives together. It's about them working on themselves to make a family, to have a loving family, to be a healthy family. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not two unhealed people trying to come together and force like mother and father each other. That's not healthy. It's not healthy. Because at the end of the day, you're not supposed to be someone else's mom. They're not supposed to be your dad. At some point, it stops feeling like a relationship and it starts to feel like a burden. It doesn't feel like there's magic anymore. It's not someone mature that you're in a relationship with. It's just someone that you have to take care of. You say you want a healthy marriage. You want a healthy relationship. Like, are you ready for things like that? Are you truly ready to go into a relationship wanting marriage, wanting kids when you're so unhealed? If you're having mental breakdowns every single month or every single week and you have a drinking addiction and you're still partying, is that who you want your kids to look up to? If you're having mental breakdowns and you don't fix that and you have kids, are they going to be in the next room listening to you in your room bawling your eyes out every single month? Is that going to be their lives? Or are they going to have healthy and happy parents? Parents that knows how to process their emotions because they've dealt with it. They've dealt with their triggers. What are they going to have? What is your husband going to have? What is your wife going to have in their life? What are you going to do for them? Are you going to be a safe space? Are you yourself a safe space for you? You have to be the safe space for you. And if you're not a safe space for yourself enough to be a safe space for someone else, then you're not ready for a relationship whatsoever. Being in a relationship is just going to add on more stress to everything else you have going on. And instead of healing to get better, you're just going to prolong it and get worse. You're just going to keep on adding on the same BS rather than fixing the previous BS. And with adding on, you're going to convince yourself subconsciously that that is all that's out there. And you gotta look out for yourself. Being deeply self-aware is extremely important because not only does it help you take responsibility for your part in situations, but it humbles you. It humbles you enough to want to fix it. It's the start of your healing journey. Going through life thinking that everything that happened to you was just life and the mishaps of unhealed individuals is only true to an extent. After it happens more than 2 times, it's time to look within and ask yourself what unhealed part of you is attracting these people in. What part of you is holding you back from your goals? What part of you is making all these excuses acceptable? Make a list. I'm a huge advocate for writing things down and journaling. Write about any situation that you feel is holding you back or that replays in your mind over and over for years, okay? Make a list of all the things that you want to do or accomplished or that you should have accomplished by now. And you hate the thoughts of, man, I should have just started. If I had started back then I would be in a better place right now. If I had just started losing weight and kept at it 2 years ago, my whole body would change and I wouldn't be sitting here right now feeling like crap. I would feel confident. I would feel sexy. Think about that. And I want you to write down 5 things, just 5 things that you did to contribute to the downfall of those things. I want you to really relive those moments and think about that second that you did 2 days of dieting and then you saw a cupcake and you went home. I want you to think about that friendship that you had that fell apart and what you did to contribute to that. If they fought with you, did you fight back or did you try and talk to them? What did you do? What are 5 things that you did in order to contribute to the downfall of those things? Someone told me years ago that it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2. It's not just ever one person's fault. It's always 2. I know this is going to be hard and it's going to be difficult. I need you to relive it again just to truly understand where you went wrong. And the reason why I want you to do this is because this is the last time. This is the very last time that you're going to allow yourself to be your own enemy. And it is the very first time that you're going to truly fix your behavior. It's the very first time you're going to be more confident in yourself and radiate on a higher frequency. It's going to be the first time you're going to feel a weight off your shoulder because you know exactly where you went wrong. You're going to be more confident in yourself and radiate on a higher level because people love other people who are doing the inner work to heal and be better. And what people hate are self-victimizing Karens. Don't be that. It's time to heal.